Hi, guys. Welcome to some more Real Talk Dog Talk. I'm Tori.
And I'm Barb.
For those of you who haven't joined us before, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com.
And if you are a regular listener and or emailer, keep those emails coming in. We love getting different ideas and information.
Yes.
Hey, so before we get into things here, I was talking to someone last night about their dog.
Okay.
And they were telling me something that they do to teach their dog. What was it? About treats and being gentle with the mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And they're giving me this, explanation of why they do this and how the dog reacts and everything. And then they ended it off with saying, I'm not sure if that's the right way, but that's what I do.
Well, when I hear that, I think if it works, then it's the right way for you and your dog.
Exactly. That's what I thought. There is no right or wrong rules to training dogs, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's about what's the most effective.
Yeah. I think the only line I would draw with that is just be nice. I mean, you don't need to be beating your dogs. I know some people think that you need to be not very nice, and I don't really agree with that. We spent 10 minutes before we started trying to get these dogs quiet, and it's just not working.
They keep finding something new to crunch on.
Yes. Enzo looked very unimpressed by me when I gave him a less noisy toy.
That's okay. He found a noisy one again.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
So
if it gets any louder, we'll take that away from him.
Yes.
So today we're going to talk about proofing your dog.
Yeah.
And, I had an idea what it was, but, I really didn't Google it to find out.
Mm-hmm.
And
I could have guessed, maybe made an assumption, but I had not, I didn't know.
Yeah.
So it was a good topic for me to look up.
Well, what I found on the internet for an actual definition is that this involves practicing your commands in various entertainment.
Well, that too.
Totally wrong there. Environments and situations to ensure that they can generalize their obedience skills. This process is crucial for maintaining consistency and reliability in your dog's training. So, you hear people use the term, oh, my horse is bomb-proof, my dog's bomb-proof. And I think really what they're saying is, it's just to, really instill that your dog knows what it's doing and is confident about it.
Yes.
And I think far too many of us are a little bit too settled in our homes. We don't get our dogs out there doing stuff.
Yeah.
One time I was down in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
And I was there for a vet appointment, and we were early. And I was driving around just the North Minneapolis area, and I noticed that the dogs down there is so much more bike traffic, people walking from bus stop to home to whatever. And you see a lot of dogs just on lead, walking with their owners. And when you're up here in a more rural area, people don't take their dogs out like that.
No.
And what I noticed was the dogs down there that are familiar with the traffic, the trains, the airplanes, the other dogs walking by are absolutely unfazed by everything around them.
Yes.
Now you take a dog from the country up here to town and try to walk through, and they're barking and going nuts at everything around them because it's just not something that they've been exposed to.
Well, and here at my house, for example, very small town, it's pretty quiet, not much going on. There is, during the summer, we have a city days type thing. There's a lot more traffic, people, there's a car show. My dogs are they're used to it at this point. We've lived here long enough. They're getting used to it. But that's something that they definitely are more unsettled when that's going on. They're not used to all those extra noises, like the semis driving by and honking their horns, and there's a lot of different things that they haven't been used to, because it is even though it is in town, it's a smaller, quiet town too. So mine are definitely not as bomb proof, I guess.
Darn as well proofed.
Yes, there we go. Not as well proofed for sure.
Well, I think I think that really takes some level of dedication, because you have to, get your dog out of their current element and just get them out there exposed to all sorts of things.
Yes.
And it is suggested that this will really ensure long-term obedience as well. And it is just using various situations, distractions, and environments. Some that I just kind of thought of is like we were just talking about, I live in the country, so taking my dogs to the city would be a change in environment. Or you could take city dogs and take them out into the country where there's going to be quiet, or, more animal sounds. Even other animals, other dogs, cats,
just things in general that they haven't been accustomed to.
Right. And like at my house, I really don't have children out at my house a whole lot. Grandkids come out once in a while. But if just the presence of children is something they're not used to, that's a good thing to have around. The sound of children playing.
Yeah.
Seeing them.
There's a lot of things too. I think, you wouldn't really think about being something you'd want them to be used to, because it's everyday things you wouldn't really normally imagine. My dishwasher is actually kind of loud, and I've not had a dishwasher previously. And that's something that my dogs had to get used to. They weren't real sure what was happening.
Well, I know when I'm out, my place is quite rural, and even like the wind whistling through the house or the kennel building, sometimes the dogs will kind of be a little bit on alert because something sounds different there.
Yeah.
And that's a great time to get them focused on you and get them working through some training at that time too. So really any kind of noise or visual change is a great opportunity to work on proofing your dog.
It is. Well, and I think too, of some of you see silly videos of people out, and I understand this is horses, but similar, techniques with dogs. I mean, they'll be out there with umbrellas and plastic bags and tarps and rolling on the ground and hopping around and doing all sorts of weird stuff, which you might not want to be that extreme with a dog, but
you might. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe you do. But, that's the thing. Anything that horse runs into is probably going to be like, okay, with all that craziness. I saw one girl, she went out with like a full-on costume. It was like a blow-up costume, and she was running around near the horse and, all sorts of crazy stuff. But that horse is probably about as close to bomb-proof as you might find.
Well, I've noticed with my dogs, unfortunately, I am a creature of habit. I'm very routine. Sorry about that. That was my phone.
Whoops.
Again. But like with my dogs, they, when they're on things, my command is off.
Yes.
And Tori will come out and she'll be, taking care of the dogs or interacting with them or helping with something out there. And they'll be getting onto her stuff and she'll tell them, to get down. And they just give her this, deer in the headlight look like, what?
I don't know what you want from me.
And she'll be continuing saying, get down, get down, get down. And I'll just say off. And she's like, ugh.
I wish I could remember that first.
Yeah. And then she'll tell them to get off and they get off. So, dogs are able to learn more than one command.
Yes.
The problem is me.
And me.
I'm just used to saying off all the time. off as a command I choose because when I tell them to lay down, I feel like that could be a confusion, as puppies, to be telling them to, get down or lay down. I think in my early training process with puppies, I just try to make it more clear. And so, I could teach them more than one word.
You could, well, and when you say that, that's true. Maybe it is confusing. I've just been confusing my dogs this whole time, but it's a good example. I mean,
right. So, it's good for dogs to learn more than one thing all the time, same thing. Even, it's not just sounds, but when you're working with them on proofing, it doesn't hurt to kind of mix up what their rewards are too for listening or what motivates them. Don't always use a rope toy or don't always use a treat.
Right.
Don't always just give them that verbal praise. Mix it up, all that variation in training, environment, sounds, and rewards is actually really great. And in my opinion, I think it's also stimulating because they just never really know what's coming next.
I totally agree with that. And that is actually the exact word that came to mind when you were saying that. It's just, I think it is. It keeps them really, and I think wanting that next reward. What's it going to be this next time? Like you said, they really want now because are they going to get the toy? Is it chicken or beef this time? All the different things. I know I get excited when I don't know what I'm having for dinner.
Really?
No, because I got to cook it.
You are the cook, Tori.
I am. I know.
You can't really surprise you.
No, I know.
So I did find a place. It's called Off Leash Canine Training.
Okay.
And I'm just going to read their information. This is them, not me.
Okay.
But they're talking about how proofing is actually very crucial. And their feeling on it is that it creates consistency and helps the dog understand that the commands apply to all situations, not just training sessions.
Yes.
So, just being out and about, this is not an official training time, but yeah, you still have to do it. Also adaptability, different environments, prepare your dog to be adaptable and confident in various situations. And honestly, I think one thing, I think dogs can learn so much, so many words, so many situations. But one thing I really like to see is confidence.
Yes.
And I think when they know their beans, they're well-trained, they're adaptable. I think that confidence just really comes through. I know Yazi is a dog that has great confidence, and he is just like my partner.
Yeah.
So I really love to see a confident dog.
Yes. And he looks at, when you see him, it's just, he exudes that, you just can tell, and in a very calm way. So it's very impressive.
They also talk about reliability and that it ensures your dog's obedience is reliable and consistent, even under pressure. Now, I think when you do this proofing, and even we've talked in the past about how some people want to teach their dogs quick, in a week you can teach them to potty train.
Right.
But I think when you do the slower training, the more consistent training, even some of this proofing that you can do, I think you're really teaching the dog to learn it.
Yes.
Not just know what you're telling it, but to actually learn it and use their own brain. And I think that's where confidence comes in, because it's not just that you're the pack leader, but that they have learned how to handle the situations, and them knowing that within themselves also is what contributes to the level of confidence that you really want in a good dog.
Yes, exactly. Because you can't teach confidence. The confidence comes along with them learning.
So you are teaching them.
Well, okay. I guess that's true.
Indirectly.
Indirectly, yeah, that is true though. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So I think it's really great when you're teaching them at a steady, slower pace so that they can understand it and learn it. You know, it's like when you guys were growing up. Maybe this is a little bit off, but when you guys, I would tell you not to do something.
Right.
Or to do something. You could ask me one time why.
Right.
And I felt like I needed to explain that to you so you understand.
Yeah.
This is why we don't go shooting out across the road when there's cars coming.
Right.
Let me explain it to you.
Yes.
I'm not going to keep explaining it.
No.
I'll give you that explanation the one time so you understand the reason behind it.
Yes.
And then you should know that.
You just need to do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I kind of feel that with dogs, they need to understand what you're teaching them so that they're a more confident and intelligent dog.
Right. Well, and when you start with proofing your dog, I mean, initially what you want to do is start in a very quiet room with 0 distractions, and then slowly increase the distractions. You can have a family member in the other room doing something, toys around the room after a certain point, and that's just the starting point. You just want to make, increase any distractions, like you said, I mean, country dogs into town, dogs from town into the country. And, it's like you said, it's slow, but you will have a more dependable and reliable dog, in my opinion.
Well, I think pretty much, so what you're saying is just basic obedience.
Right.
And instill that first.
Yeah. And once they can do that, no problem, then go ahead, because at that point, they know what you're telling them. You know that these commands are solid in their head, and they know what you want when you say that.
Now, Ziggy is not well proofed.
Okay, I can agree with that.
He is a dog that likes to be at home.
He does.
He's good when you take him to the vet. He's not really a big problem. Yep. But I've taken him to Tractor Supply in his younger years.
Yeah.
And he would not go past the checkouts.
Oh, yeah.
And at this time, he's, what is he, 3 years old? He would go in with me. And, 3 years ago, there was this very kind clerk. I wish I knew her name. And she would let Ziggy lay at the counter with her.
Yeah.
While I went in and did my shopping.
Yep.
And then when we would head out, he liked her.
Yeah.
He was okay at the counter with her. But he did not want to go in the store.
Which is interesting. You got to wonder why. But
I'll have to ask him when I get home.
Would you? Yeah.
But that was a really great example of a dog that was not, and I always felt like, if we could close these doors and I could just take the leash off him and let him just roam around.
Yeah.
I think he would have liked that a lot better.
Yeah.
But obviously that's not something you do.
Right.
So, but she was wonderful. She was very nice to him, and he would lay there with her while I did my shopping. But that is an example of a dog that is not well proofed. Right. I mean, he could be as perfect and obedient at home as I wanted, but he was not comfortable in an environment outside of that.
Right.
At that time, I was working quite a lot. So, that was a big fat fail on my end.
Well, we all have lessons to learn. So.
But he's a wonderful dog at home and very confident in his own right there. But so it's really good to get them into other environments so that you don't have to leave them with a clerk.
Well, and I do. There is an other end to that too. I have a friend that had a dog, and maybe she still does, but that dog had some serious separation anxiety. Now, that dog could go anywhere and, happy as a lark in the car, was unfazed by things in town. But, when she tried to leave that dog at home, you couldn't.
Separation issues.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got to kind of be careful and have that happy medium with that too, because it is extremely important to have your dog used to all of that. But there is something such as too much of that good thing.
Well, as in life, with dogs, it's important to keep balance.
Right.
And I think most of us are extremists, so it's something you always got to be aware of. I had to chuckle. Rocky has since passed.
Yes.
He was my 17-year-old husky. And many years ago, I had him in the vehicle with me.
Yeah.
And I stopped at a consignment store. I wanted to go in and check things out. And I left the windows all down. I drove an Expedition at that time. I left them down what I thought would have been not so too much for him, but about 6 inches.
Yeah.
All 4 windows were about 6 inches down. I don't know how, but that dog squeezed out of a window. And I was in the 2nd floor of this big consignment store.
Oh my goodness.
And all of a sudden, Rocky came running up the stairs to me. And I was like,
found ya.
There were no electric doors on that building. So
somebody had to let him in.
Yeah. He squeezed out my car window, crossed the street, because I was parked along the road in a shade.
Okay. Yeah.
So that he was comfortable. He came across the road. Someone must have let him in the door, and he knew to come upstairs to where I was. And I didn't have a leash with me because I didn't expect any of it.
Yeah.
So we left.
Oh my gosh.
But so Rocky had no confidence issues. He was very good about, I guess, locating me.
Yeah, he was like, you know what? She's taking too long. Let me go check.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm comfortable, but is she?
Yeah. So he was quite well proofed. He was another time, actually, I found Rocky running down Main Street looking for me because he also squeezed out the window and left the vehicle. And I got in the car and he wasn't there. I'm like, what? And I looked down the road and there he was trotting along looking for me.
He came back right away, though, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. He wanted to ride in the car.
Yeah, he did. He's like, where's the airflow here? Come on. He is such a cute dog. Oh my goodness.
Anyhow,
well, and with dogs that say you go on vacation, you bring your dog with, like, all sorts of people do. Everybody does. You could do training sessions while you're on vacation.
You could, some people might feel like, oh, I'm on vacation, I don't want to, but I never really feel like training is work.
No, it's fun time with your dog.
Time with the dog. And it really, they're smart. They don't need like 5 hours of it.
Yeah, even just 10 minutes or so. I mean, if that.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, proofing your dog is important. It's something that I think a lot of people overlook. Even if you wanted to, which again, I say this, I swear, almost every episode, we have nothing up here.
Yeah.
There's no training facilities or anything up here in this rural area. But, even if you wanted to like join a dog group, where they do training together or even individually, gets a dog around other people, other animals.
Or even just if you have a friend who has a dog that wants to.
Yeah, those are some excellent ideas for getting your dog kind of proofed and acclimated to something out of its norm.
Yeah, exactly.
So, proofing really is a good thing. And I will say, though, I'm gonna probably offend people. They're gonna be like, "Oh, bitch, that isn't even true." But I don't 150% believe in anything being bomb proof.
No, that's the thing. I mean, you can think of every scenario, and there's probably going to be something else that could happen.
Yeah. So, I mean, with proofing your dog, kudos to you for doing that.
Yes.
But always be aware of that one situation that you didn't anticipate that could,
You expect the best and plan for the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
So, so I'm not really a 100% believer in the bomb proof thing, but proofing is definitely a great way to get your dog thinking, learning, and acclimated to so many different environments.
It's going to make a huge difference. And I mean, a ton of different scenarios. So it's worth that time and effort that you put into it. And again, any time spent with your dog is a good bonding experience, which is also extremely important. I'm all about bonding.
Yeah, well, that's because you like to sit on the couch.
I do.
Tori is a couch potato.
It's a fact. I probably shouldn't admit it, but I love my couch, I love my sweats, and I love my dogs. And my kid. I love my kid too. He's 12 and hates me right now. So
he'll like you again when he's grown up.
Yeah. One day.
Yeah.
So
anyhow.
So
if you do have any problems or questions with proofing or dog training, always, do your own research. We love to provide any information or thoughts that we have. Check with your professionals. Always keep yourself informed and check with the professionals in your area if you run into any roadblocks.
Yes. And again, if you have any questions or comments, you can email us at realtalkdogtalk@yahoo.com. Hit that follow button and comment down below.
Yeah, comment.
Do it.
So thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a really great week. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, so
I cannot wait.
Eat up that turkey, and you know what? Don't let your dogs get those bones.
No. Again, bad for them.
Yeah.
Bad for them. Right. Have a good holiday. Goodbye.
Goodbye.